Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Katie, and this is a very special practice that we'll be getting into today. Today is the 6th-year anniversary of Shanti and the 6th-year anniversary of this class in particular, which brings me so much joy, not only to teach, but to share this practice with you. So that being said, the only props that I suggest today are maybe a couple of blocks or a bolster or a pillow, maybe even a blanket as we'll begin, and a supported heart opener. So the theme of our practice today is about showing up. So if there's one lesson that I really learned over the 6 years of owning Shanti is just to show up, but not really just showing up onto your mat or onto your practice and in your community, but focusing on the ways in which we show up. And so it's been a really fun ride over these 6 years. Just a little bit of a backstory if you're fairly new to the community here. Shanti started back in 2014, and I was 27, enrolled in an accelerated nursing program, failed a class, was retaking it, started Shanti, finished nursing school a year later, made it through. And then I worked as an ER nurse for a few years while running the studio. The studio had always been my passion project, the thing that really fueled my heart and soul. So having worked in the ER for a few years and concurrently running the studio got to be quite a bit. And Shanti was doing surprisingly well. I was really excited. So in about 2017, we opened our second location down at South City. At that point, I kind of went part-time nursing and focused my energy onto the studios. In 2018, we had a fire here at our Maplewood studio, actually right behind these walls at our neighboring studio. And thankfully, our 6 a.m. class was able to arrive early and catch things early enough to where we saved our space. 2018 was the fire. 2019, I gave birth to my first child. We reopened Shanti, we moved back in. 2020, we've overcome or are currently going through a pandemic. 2021, baby number 2 should arrive. So every year in this journey over the past 6 years has just been a wild ride. And even amidst some challenges, has still proven to show so many blessings, even in disguise. So today our practice is about showing up. And not only just showing up, but honoring how you show up. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I encourage you to take a couple of blocks or a bolster or a rolled up blanket behind the back. So one block can come along the length of your spine and the other block to support underneath your head. So we'll come to face the top of our mat and then gently let yourself recline down. Good, making sure that you're feeling nice and supported. And you can choose to keep your knees bent or option to butterfly your legs. And then gently place your right hand to the center of your chest and let your left palm rest on top of the right. And take 3 full breaths to land you into your heart space. Honoring the ways in which you're showing up in this moment. Maybe that's relevant to your practice today, or maybe you're showing up in some other way in your life. So take another deep breath into your heart space. And then as you exhale, let your arms blossom open. The tops of your hands kiss the earth beneath you. And you might ask yourself the question of, what am I showing up for? Are you showing up for yourself? Are you showing up in some other ways? And then whatever it is that you're showing up for, I invite you to ask yourself, how am I showing up for whatever it is? And when we bring clarity and purpose to the ways in which we arrive, our purpose becomes amplified, our presence more potent. So, as we move through our practice today, I invite you to frequently check in with yourself. How am I showing up here in this moment? And can I show up with more intention, more intelligence in my body? As you inhale, breathing in 3 equal parts, inhaling from belly through rib cage all the way into your chest. Feeling your heart grow spacious and tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, softening from chest, recoiling through the rib cage and letting your navel soften towards the spine. Inhaling in 3 equal parts. Exhale in 3 equal parts. Inviting your body to clear out space where perhaps there is a stagnation of energy. See if you can open yourself up to arriving more fully, listening more clearly. And then tapping into your inner listening. And notice if something comes to the surface that particularly serves a purpose today. Maybe you set this as your intention. Or perhaps you seal it into your practice with a mantra, inhaling as you repeat to yourself, I am. Exhaling, fully present. So using this intention or affirmation to welcome yourself to show up fully. Soften for a few more breaths. Good. And if your knees are extended out wide or the legs long, come to bring the soles of your feet to the floor, pointing your knees to the sky. And as you inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, let your hands meet opposite elbows and then start to lift your elbows up. So find a little protraction through the shoulders. And as you exhale, let your arms reach back behind you. The weight of the arms helps to open through the chest, through the shoulders. Maybe they just hover above the floor. And if this is uncomfortable in any way, just reach the fingertips back behind you. Breathe fully into the capacity of the lungs. Noticing any resonance, any sound to the breath. You might take an inhale through your nose and a sigh out through your mouth. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, releasing your arms, sweeping fingertips wide, blossoming them back open at your sides. Ground into your intention for one more breath. Good. And as you exhale, bring your elbows to the floor, lift your head, and slowly begin to press yourself up. setting your blocks off to the side. Good. And then come back down onto your back, into the center of your mat. Gently hug your knees in towards your chest and just start to circle out the knees a little bit. Finding a gentle release into your sacrum. And then switching directions. Maybe the ankles cross to help support the core. Good. Inhale, knees to chest, and exhale, guide your forehead towards your knees. Give yourself a little squeeze. If the ankles are crossed, uncross the ankles. Good. Inhale, lower the upper body, and exhale, guide your knees over to the left for a twist. Right arm can cactus at your side as the left hand grounds to the top of your right thigh, or maybe your right knee. Good. Allowing your hips to stack, walking the left hip underneath the right helps to deepen the twisting sensation into your lumbar spine. How does this feel in your body in this moment? Where are you finding engagement? And perhaps where do you find release? Take one more breath. Inhale back to center, knees towards the chest, and then exhale a seamless transition to our opposite side. So the knees fall over to the right, left arm cactuses to the left. Good, and right hand can rest at the top of your left thigh here. Staying soft into your belly, spacious to the heart. Good. One more breath. Good. Inhale here and exhale, come back to center, but keep the soles of your feet to the floor like a little bridge prep. Inhale, right leg straightens, and exhale, left leg straightens up towards the sky. And as you exhale, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Inhale and center, and exhale, the knees fall over to the left for a twist. So the left foot allows the right leg to become heavy as you breathe into your low belly. Just giving yourself a little bit of traction here. Hands can stay at your sides or cactus them. Fingertips towards the top of your mat. Take a deep breath into your belly. And then inhale, come back up to center. As you exhale, wrap your left leg around the right. So maybe finding Garudasana legs, and then twist, taking both knees over to the right, left arm to the left. Now, if this is too much, you can always unravel the legs and simply stack the knees like we did earlier. Just stay for another breath or two. Inhale here. Exhale to hold. Inhale, coming back up to center, unravel the legs. Good, and this time inhale, right leg to the sky. You might circle out the ankle, and exhale, right ankle crosses left thigh. Inhale and center, exhale, knees to the right, gazing to the left. Left foot anchors the right foot anchors the left thigh bone a bit closer towards the earth, equally rooting through the back of your left shoulder. Breathe space into the belly. Soft to the heart. Inhale up through center. Exhale, wrapping your right leg around the left. Your left toes can lift. And then exhale, knees over to the left. You can walk left hip under right as right arm opens to the right. Maybe left hand resting to the top of right thigh, and breathe. How does this feel to show up in your body in this moment? Is there something you can give it to provide it more support? Is there a way in which you can soften and release more fully in this moment? Take one more breath. Inhale here, and then exhale, unravel as you come back to center, guiding knees in towards the chest. And this time, rocking yourself a few times forward and back, massaging along the length of the spine. Coming all the way into a seated position. Option to place a blanket underneath your seat for more support. But rather than crossing your ankles, I invite you to kind of cross your shins and then flex your feet. So a mild fire log pose, taking your hands underneath your seat. Good, guiding the flesh away here. Or if you wish to take full fire log, you can truly stack the shins, placing one shin on top of the other. Good, but toes are guiding in towards each other as you flex through your feet, and then bring hands onto your knees or thighs. And as you inhale, lift your heart, lift your gaze, finding your cow pose from a seated position. And as you exhale, we round the spine, chin to chest. Good, as you inhale, heart lifts, gaze lifts, finding cow, seated cow. And then exhale, we round, seated cat. Again, inhale. Exhale, round. Take it one more time. Inhale to a neutral spine. This time, cross the opposite shin on top or in front. And as you inhale, sweep your arms back, open the heart and chest. As you exhale, round, bring your fingertips forward. Inhale, blossom the arms open. Maybe you bend the elbows if that feels better. And then exhale, sweep and round. Inhale, infusing the heart space with breath, with intention. Exhale, breathe to the back of the heart. Good, a few more rounds. Imagining the arms are just moving like wings here, with grace, with ease. One more round. And exhale. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, release fingertips by your sides, and slowly transition into tabletop. Option to place a blanket for support underneath your knees. And from here, we'll come into Anahastasana, or heart melting pose. So keeping our pelvis stacked over the knees, walk your fingertips forward as you engage your core to protect your low back, bringing forehead to the earth, or gazing forward, melting your heart to the earth. Staying lifted onto fingertips to help ventilate through the lungs. Flossing through the intercostal space, the space between each rib. Option to tuck the toes or keep the tops of your feet to the earth, but finding traction as you energetically send your tailbone back, guiding your heart towards the earth. Spatially, you might not find much movement here, but energetically, find a little bit of traction. Breathe. What is it that you can offer yourself in this moment? Coming back to your intention or your mantra, I am fully present in my heart space, in my body. Two more breaths. Good. Inhale, start to slowly lift up. And as you exhale, slither forward onto your belly. I'll be modifying for prenatal, coming into a Sphinx pose. So kind of creating this number 11 shape through your forearms as they parallel one another. Good, grounding through the top of your feet. Start to traction your heart forward, lifting your gaze, and feel this extension out through the crown of your head. So crown reaches towards the sky, tops of feet ground to the earth. See if you can root your shoulders back and down, encouraging your heart to extend forward, taking up space here. Beautiful. Finding this mild compression to your lower back, but compression in a good sense. If you're finding any tension, see if you can create a little bit more space just through engaging through the tops of your feet, opening through the chest. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down and bring fingertips out to your side. Draw your elbows towards the sky and then inhale, lift your heart, coming a little bit deeper into your back bend. Good. Still grounding through the tops of your feet. Good. See if you can draw the back of your head a little closer towards your heels. Inhale here, and as you exhale, draw your left shoulder down, gaze up to the right. Maybe you bring left temple to the earth. So the left shoulder drops. You should feel a little stretch as you inhale, heart lifts, curling the upper body back. And then as you exhale, elbows bend, right shoulder drops, keeping elbows tented towards the sky. Gazing to the left. Again, inhale, curl up through center, feeling toning through the low back as you massage the kidneys and adrenals. Exhale, left shoulder dips. Inhale through center. Exhale, right shoulder. Inhale through center. This time, hold and pause, refining your posture for 5. You might close your eyes for 4. Creating length between shoulders and ears, 3, 2, and on 1, gently release. Come all the way down, bringing fingertips under shoulders, guiding through tabletop and pressing back to child's pose. Yogi's choice if you wish to bring knees together or apart, but just start to guide your hands forward. Good, and then see if you can bring your hands to meet in prayer forward. So the palms touch, elbows stay lifted. Again, spatially, you might not find much movement. Energetically, reach your fingertips forward as you send your tailbone back towards your heels, wrapping your shoulder blades onto the back, a little bit of hollowing through the armpits here. Where can you soften? Where can you send the breath? And how does this feel once again to show up in your body in this shape? And then we'll give ourselves the opportunity to slightly shift our shape. So inhale here as you exhale, lower the elbows, bend them as you guide the thumbs towards cervical spine 7, or the nape of the neck, the very base of the neck where it meets the upper back. And guide your triceps forward, walk your elbows forward, breathe into that space. How does it feel to show up in this way? Take a few more breaths. As you inhale, extend the arms forward. As you send your heart forward, exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Moving with intelligence in your body, with intention and purpose. Good. Welcome some movement here. As you pedal out the feet, you might invite the head to shake out yes and no. Maybe this is your first down dog of the day. How does it feel in your body? How does this down dog compare to the very first down dog that maybe you ever took in your body? How does it feel to show up time and time again into a pose that is structurally the same, but energetically never quite the same? Noticing our subtle evolution each time we show up is a bit different than the time before. Take one more breath. Inhale here, exhale, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Uttanasana at the back of your mat. Option to take a little bend to your knees. Maybe you hold opposite elbows and just sway it out from side to side.
And option 2, encourage your elbows to draw back behind the ears. Really open up the chest and shoulders. Inhale, release fingertips to the earth. Lift your heart into a flat back. Exhale, soften and bow forward. Inhale again, heart forward, thigh bones back. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, we bow. This time, bring your hands onto your waist. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other. Look forward, and as you inhale, lift your heart as you rise all the way to standing, nice and slow and steady. As you exhale, pitch your hips forward, lift your heart, greet your elbows in towards each other. Take a gentle back bend. And as you exhale, wash your hands down your legs, gently melt the heart forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, walk your hands forward into the top of a push-up, coming into your plank pose. If you need to lower your knees to modify at any time, feel free, but see if you can curl the tailbone under slightly and dome through the upper back like you're pressing your heart up onto your shoulder blades. Good. And from here, see if you can imagine pulling your mat even wider apart. So pressing the palms forward while rooting your heels back. Inhale here. Exhale, option to lower chaturanga or press back, downward facing dog. Take your vinyasa or meet back here. As you inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky, please. As you exhale, right knee bends, right hip stacks, and take big circles with the right knee. Oftentimes we confuse this with circles to the ankle, but we want to invite movement to our right hip. So take a few circles in one direction, and then a few in the opposite. Good. Inhale, square your hips, re-straighten the front leg, and as you exhale, step your right foot to the right side of your mat. Good. Now keep your back foot lifted, or your back knee lifted rather, and see if you can lower the hips down slightly, but energetically send the back of your left kneecap towards the sky. Now, if you need to lower your back knee down, listen to your body. The blocks or a pillow bolster can be helpful. If you wish to come a bit further, you can lower first onto your left forearm, and maybe that's to the floor, maybe that's to your prop. And if you'd like to come a bit deeper, option to lower to your right forearm. Good. Now this is a little bit different as the back knee is still really active. As our hips sink lower, keep hugging your right knee in towards the right shoulder. Good. Take a few more breaths. And then as you inhale, press up through your right hand, then through the left. Heel toe your right foot to the center of your mat. Option to use blocks underneath the hands. And as you exhale, your right leg straightens, coming in for pyramid pose. Inhale here. As you exhale, lift your right toes up off the earth, so flexing through the right foot. Keep that right hip tractioning back as you send your left hip forward. Breathe. Inhale, spine nice and long. Maybe you exhale, bend your elbows, folding forward over our front leg. See if you can soften. Take 2 more breaths, coming as deeply into the pose as you feel nurturing in your body. And when you're ready, inhale, re-bend into your front knee. Exhale to hold. And then as you inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky, finding your crescent lunge. Good. Energetically start to engage through your lower body, building strength and heat into your right quadricep, into your right thigh. Soften through your shoulders, root your arm bones down into their sockets. Inhale here, and then exhale, sweep your arms back alongside your hips as you pitch your torso forward. Keeping your hips nice and low, energetically find a line of energy from your left heel to your hips, to your shoulders, out through the crown of your head. Turn your palms to face the midline. Pinky fingers towards the sky. Firm your triceps. Inhale, sweep your left arm forward, elbow alongside the ear, pause. As you exhale, spin your back heel down and rise up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2 pose. Sink deeply into your front knee, keeping the right knee track lining over the right ankle. Inhale and exhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm sweeps you back with an optional bind. Left fingertips to the small of the back or perhaps the right inner thigh. Keep sending your right knee over towards the right side of your mat as we have a tendency to collapse. Inhale here and then exhale, find your extended side angle with or without your bind. Right forearm can come onto the right thigh, or option to bring fingertips to greet the earth. Keep sending your right buttock underneath the left. Good, right lung underneath the left. Take one more breath. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame the front foot, spin off your back heel and take a twist. Right arm to the sky. Left hand plants underneath your left shoulder. Inhale here, exhale, turn your toes open to the right. Finding this nice IT band stretch into your right IT band. Good. Option to stay here. If you would like to recruit more core strength, you might step your right foot back to side plank, stacking right foot over left. Option to lift your right leg up or cradle sole of right foot to left inner thigh. I like to reach my right arm overhead, finding this beautiful arcing shape to the left side body. Option to stay here or right foot can step back, hips and heart to the sky, wild thing. Take a breath wherever you are. Inhale and then exhale, make your way back to your high plank position. Good, keeping your mat spreading nice and long. Option to take your vinyasa or meet back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, or welcome yourself to rest in child's pose. Resetting in any way that you need. Arriving with attention, arriving in your body with intelligence. Two more breaths. As you're ready, inhale, left leg to the sky. As you exhale, left knee bends and left hip stacks over right. Start to take big circles with your left knee. Notice if you're dumping weight into your shoulders. See if you can stay muscularly engaged. Protecting yourself from really collapsing here. Strong to the upper body. And then a few circles in the opposite direction, waking up the hip. Beautiful. As you inhale, left leg straightens. Squaring your hips, exhale, step your left foot to the left side of your mat. Good, getting nice and long. You might even wiggle your right toes back slightly. Hips get nice and low, and then option to lower first onto your right forearm, maybe onto a block or a bolster, and then maybe left forearm. Good, keep your left knee hugging in towards your left shoulder. And as your hips sink low, send the back of your right kneecap towards the sky, firming the quad. Head can hang heavy as you release to the back of your neck. And if you need to lower the right knee down at any time, feel free to do so. How does this feel in your body? How are you showing up in this moment? 2 more breaths. Inhale, press yourself up through center, and exhale, heel toe the left foot back to center. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, left leg straightens, finding your pyramid pose. Your left heel might draw in line with the right toes, or to create more space to your low back, you can keep the feet a little bit wider apart. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lift your toes, left toes towards the shin. Can come onto fingertips or onto blocks, whatever feels most supported here in your body. As you inhale, heart forward, exhale, traction your left hip back, your right hip forward. Option to stay here. As you exhale, bend your elbows, bow. Beautiful. Two more breaths. As you inhale, rebend into your left knee. Exhale to hold, look forward, and inhale, rise all the way up, coming into your high crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Good, sinking down into your left knee, staying strong through the back of your right. Inhale here and exhale, sweep arms back as you pitch your heart forward. See if you can root your shoulders down away from the ears, firm your triceps and breathe. High onto the ball of the back foot. Maybe you sink in into lower into your left knee, and then inhale, sweep your right arm forward, elbow by the ear, pause. Inhale all the way up, exhale, back heel spins down, Virabhadrasana, 2 elbows stack over ankles, or wrist stack over ankles. Settle in. Feel the strength inherent in your body. You are capable, you are strong. Inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior, right palm resting to right thigh. Optional bind, left fingertips start to inch towards or right fingertips, left inner thigh. Good. Play around with how deep you want to go into that front leg. Take another breath in and then exhale, extend your side angle, left forearm to left thigh. Maybe right arm reaches overhead. Good. Gaze can come up over the right elbow towards the sky, breathing with intention. Straight line from right ankle out through right fingertips. Smile. Inhale, let's rise back up to center. Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale as you cartwheel your hands down, spin off your back heel and twist left arm to the sky. Good, letting your shoulder blades greet onto the back. We inhale and exhale, turning toes out to the left. So rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot. Option to stay here, maybe you stack left foot on top of right. Option to lift your left leg up or cradle sole of left foot to right inner thigh. Option to sweep that left arm overhead like you're creating a rainbow in your body. Infusing yourself with light and love. Inhale. And maybe you exhale, step your left foot back, hips and heart to the sky, wild thing. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release, coming into your high plank position. Option to flow or meet back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths, finding your reset. Option to rest in child's pose. We'll all meet there eventually. Just using this time as an opportunity to listen to your body, showing up in the ways that it needs you to today. Inhale. And exhale, release the knees to the earth, finding your child's pose if you're not there already. and let yourself rest. You need more support in your child's pose. You can always stack palms or stack fists underneath your forehead, giving the torso a little lift. Good. Take a few more breaths. Good. Slowly inhale, reach your arms forward as you pitch your weight forward, coming back into your tabletop shape. And as you exhale, crossing your ankles, roll back onto your seat, coming in towards the middle of your mat. And let's lower all the way down onto the back. You might have a block or a bolster nearby. As you come down onto your back, guide your heels in towards your sitting bones and bring your fingertips towards your heels. See if you can make contact between fingertips and heels. If not, that's okay too. We'll keep our arms resting by our sides, and as you inhale, root your heels into the earth, lift your hips up, coming into your bridge pose. Good. Walking your shoulders underneath you as if you're letting your heart land into this little nest that you've created for it. Option to keep arms at your sides. You can hold the outer edges of your mat, or option to interlace your fingers behind the back. And then find some engagement as you traction, drawing your heels closer towards your shoulders, not physically moving anything, but energetically finding that traction. And as you do, engaging through your hamstrings, engaging through the glutes. Back body really active, front body fully spacious. Keeping your gaze up towards the sky, can you guide your heart a little closer towards your chin? How does that feel in your lower body? How does that feel in your upper body? Take a few more breaths. Finding a slow, steady rhythm to your pace today. Inhale. Exhale if fingers are interlaced. Slowly release and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Gently coming all the way down. As you inhale, arms overhead. Option to hold opposite elbows. Exhale, knees to the right. Good. Finding a little release into the sacrum and into the lumbar spine. Inhale, knees up through center. Exhale, switching sides. Knees to the left. You might gaze to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale, arms come back by your sides. We'll revisit bridge pose with the option to add on. Good. See if you can make contact between fingertips and heels. Inhale and then exhale, drive your heels down as you lift your hips up. Good. Walking your shoulders underneath. You see if you can find the opposite interlace of your hands if you're revisiting that option. Good. Traction as you draw heels up towards the shoulders. Engage your glutes, contracting your hamstrings. From here, heel toe your feet just a little bit closer in as you root down through your left foot. Inhale, right leg to the sky, pointing your toes, lift your hips 1 inch higher. As you point your right toes, isometrically squeeze all the muscle to the bone. Inhale. Exhale, lower right foot, keep your hips lifted. Inhale here, exhale, left leg lifts. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, release the hands and bring yourself down, articulating one vertebrae at a time. Releasing with intention. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, knees to the right, gaze to the left. Soften to your belly. Inhale up through center. Exhale, switch, knees to the left, gaze to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale, arms by your sides. Now for our third round of bridge, you'll have the option to take Urdhva Dhanurasana or full wheel pose. I won't come there with you. I'll guide you through it. But if full wheel is not in your practice today, feel free to come into one of the first two options that we took, and then we'll take a restorative bridge pose together after. So wherever you are, we'll bend our knees, walking your heels in towards your seat. If you're coming into bridge, fingertips by your heels. If you're coming into wheel pose, fingertips flip, wrist flip, so fingertips point towards your shoulders. Inhale together and exhale, start to lift your hips up. If you're coming into wheel, first come onto the crown of your head. You might pause here, inhaling and hugging your elbows in. Exhale, you can press all the way up into your full version of wheel pose, if that is in your practice. Take a few breaths wherever this inversion takes you today. Feeling strong, feeling confident, feeling capable in your body as you lead with your heart. Let yourself stay for as long as feels good in your body. And when you are ready, gently release. Come all the way down. One vertebrae at a time. Block, bolster, or blanket nearby as we bring it down to a nice restorative version this time. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale, slide your block underneath your sacrum. If you need to twist it out and release first, feel free, take any movement in your body that you need. And your block might be on a high, medium, or low setting. I generally suggest a medium or low setting. If you really want to get deeper into your back bend, you can take the high setting. It can just be a little intense. Option is stay bent through your knees, or if you'd like to come deeper, you can extend your legs out long. And oftentimes this requires moving the block a little closer towards your tailbone. We don't want to find any crunching in our low back here. So showing up fully present in your body. How does it feel? Where can you release? And if there's anything that's blocking you or holding you back from showing up fully present, bring it to the forefront of your consciousness and address it. Maybe you need more support to show up fully. Or maybe in this moment, something doesn't agree in your body. Let yourself move or modify. Show up in a way that nurtures you. And when you find the support you need, come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. I am, as you inhale, fully present as you exhale. Staying for a few more moments.
If your legs are extended long, slowly begin to rebend the knees, bringing soles of feet to the floor as you inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, sliding your prop out from underneath you. Slowly guide the knees in towards your chest, maybe forehead towards the knees. Or start to circle out the knees or rock yourself from side to side, releasing the upper body at any time. If you're circling out the knees, gently switch directions. Good. And then inhale, hug the right knee in, extend the left leg long. And as you exhale, guide your right knee across the body over to the left, coming into a twist. And if that's too much, just simply bend both knees over to the left to protect the low back. Let yourself settle into stillness. Slowly inhale, bring your knees back up through center. And exhale to the opposite side. And extending right leg long, left knee over to the right, or both knees over to the right, yogi's choice. So you inhale your way up through center. Exhale, knees to chest. Circle out the knees a few times clockwise and a few times counterclockwise. Open up to find your version of happy baby pose, soles of feet to the sky. Peace fingers can hold the big toes or hands to the outer edges of the feet. Option to rock yourself from side to side, massaging along the lengths of your spine. Let it feel good. And then come back holding through center. And then imagining there's an anchor attached to your tailbone as it roots you towards the earth, spreading through your low back. Breathe. Inhale here, exhale, soles of feet together. Let your knees draw apart. Good, and breathe into the hips. Tractioning your heart forward through the arms. Inhale, and as you exhale, release the hands from feet, but lower the feet, Supta Baddha Konasana, recline bound angle pose. Placing one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Asking yourself, how does it feel to show up in this moment? Showing up to yourself, to your intention. And it's only when we fully show up present to ourselves that we can fully and truly be present there for others, for our communities. Bringing the hand that's on your belly, start to place it over the palm that's resting on your heart. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank your classmates for being here too, for showing up in this practice so that we can share the healing power of yoga together. And thanking yourself for showing up for whatever else you do in your life. And letting our practice serve as this grounding anchor, bringing us back to this notion of persistence, of perseverance. That even when we find it challenging or difficult, that we just show up to take care of ourselves so that we can then take care of each other. And in this gratitude, begin to blossom your arms open, extending your legs long, resting into your final resting pose, into Shavasana, or any other shape that you wish to take. And if you're in Shavasana, curl your shoulders under slightly and envision your heart space like the peak of a mountaintop. And from the pinnacle of your heart, let its energy trickle down into your fingertips, radiating love and contentment and peace. From the peak of your heart, let its energy wash down through the legs into your toes. Peace, love, and contentment to the soles of your feet. From the peak of your heart, extending out through the crown of your head, thoughts of love, of peace, and kindness. From your heart space, let it emanate throughout your entire being. A quality of love, of kindness, of peace, in thoughts, words, and actions. And strengthening this connection by simply showing up with intention and intelligence. Allow yourself to marinate in this pose for some time, and I'll call you back when it's time. If you have additional time, I encourage you to stay and enjoy this space of being present. If you're ready to continue through your day, slowly start to deepen your breath. Welcome movement back into your fingers and into your toes. On an inhale, you can reach your arms overhead. Take a gentle stretch. Exhaling, knees in towards the chest, rocking gently from side to side, and eventually rolling onto your right side to rest. Taking your time, and when you're ready, let your hands slowly guide you back into a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze down as you settle in. You're welcome to seal your practice in any way that feels authentic to you. Or join me by bringing your hands to meet in prayer and placing the thumbs at your third eye center. Honoring our seat of intuition and innate wisdom. Bringing our hands to meet at heart center. Sealing our practice with the sound of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, followed by one Om together. Inhale fully. And exhale completely. Inhale fully. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. We bow our head into our hearts, cultivating gratitude for ourselves, for each other in the practice. The divine light that shines in me bows, honors, and reflects to the divine light that shines in each of you, from the bottom of my heart to yours. Namaste.